Hello there and welcome to the channel, and in this video we're going to be asking one simple question, and that question is this: is the world's most exotic fuchsia hardy enough to grow outside in the UK? Even more so, is it hardy enough to stay outside in my English garden all year round? Well, before we answer that, what is this exotic fuchsia that you are speaking of, pray tell? Well, I'll tell you. Stupid garden. Now, the fuchsia I'm talking about is the absolutely glorious Bolivian fuchsia, otherwise known as Fuchsia boliviana, and it is a native to Peru, Argentina, and surprisingly enough, Bolivia. Now, as attractive, highly intelligent, and generally well-educated people myself and Lorna are, we had never come across this plant before until just a couple of years ago, when on a trip to Madeira we started seeing this plant around the rather fancy gardens they have there. So on our return we decided that we wanted one of those in our garden too. So not having seen one before or ever sold one in my time as a plant retailer, we managed to find a small supplier online on eBay, as it were, and got them to pop it in the post and send it to us in our garden, where we planted it out last spring. Now, because this plant isn't particularly widely grown, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of information on it with regards to growing it in your garden. Assuming you have managed to get yourself one and you want to plant it outside, it will grow quite happily throughout our growing season here in the UK. It doesn't like temperatures over 40 degrees, so that's one tick. The books say it can go down to about -4, which kind of makes it half hardy. And you need to plant it in a shady, sheltered position, in a moist, regularly moist, especially over the summer, soil. Hold on a minute. I've got something important to say. If you've enjoyed this video or just find some of the information in it useful to you, then consider clicking on the like button. That way it makes it a lot easier for YouTube to find other people who want to find that information. Anyway, no further ado, let's continue finding out what old Boyle butt has to say. Just be aware that the leaves will scorch in full sun, so it's always best to plant it in shade to semi-shade, certainly shady during the hottest part of the day. So when we planted ours in this garden, we gave it the protection of this lovely old apple tree. So when we started to get nearer to winter and not being able to find out enough information on it regarding its proper winter hardiness, we contacted another YouTube exotic plant gardener to find out what his thoughts on it, because I saw that he had one in the back of one of his videos, and he said he didn't give any protection to his Fuchsia boliviana at all, which is all well and good, but I don't like to take risks. So last year we placed an overprotective canopy. That's all I really did in that, because I thought the temperatures would be fine. Had protection of the tree, a little rain cover over the top of it. I think I may have even wrapped it up, I'm not sure. So that was last year. We took the coverings off this year, and it was quite obvious to anyone who could see that all the stems had in fact died. So I was expecting those stems to still be viable come the spring and start reshooting leaf on it. So I was a little bit concerned, but I did cut it all back, but I didn't lift the plant, and it is April now. Let's go and have a little look and see what is happening with my lovely exotic fuchsia. So you can see these stems, there's no life in these whatsoever. So we've cut them back. I mean, this was about 3-4 foot tall by the end of the season, and now all this is now dead. But look down here, there is new growth emerging from the base. Which I'm really pleased about that. As soon as I saw this, we put down some slug pellets, not that they really do much anymore nowadays, and we put in a slug pub to keep any slugs grazing off this fresh new growth as it comes through. Now look at that. Is it working? Oh yes, you little beauty. Now, last year's overwintering temperatures went down to about -5 degrees Celsius. At least that's what the the forecast was saying. Last year was a lot colder, so probably good thing we didn't plant that the year before. So what we have a situation is this. It was -5. It has survived. All we did was put a rain cover on it. I wasn't expecting the stems to die, but assuming temperatures didn't go below freezing, those stems would still be intact. Anyway, this is England, so we don't tend to get that much. But I would do things differently. I expect this to make an absolutely stunning display this year, full of flower, be a lot bigger. But when it comes to overwintering, I'm going to put on a lovely thick dry mulch, probably a couple of inches, 2-3 inches. I like to use bark chips simply because as those bark chips rot down, they release nitrogen back into the soil, so it helps feed the soil at the same time. Because let's be honest, bark chips don't last more than a couple of years before they dry up and just disappear. They're not fantastic for that, but certainly as a one season winter mulch, dry mulch, they are very, very good, and I would certainly do that. So to answer the question, is the Fuchsia boliviana hard enough to stay outside in the UK? Well, for a first year plant, that did, -5. Now the lovely RHS has a hardiness scale that you can check out yourself. It's online, and they consider a plant that is half hardy one that will tolerate temperatures down from 0 degrees down to a -5 degrees. And a technically hardy plant is a plant that can go down to between -5 and -10 degrees, although you may suffer some dieback on these stems. Now, we suffered dieback on those stems. We had -5 degrees. I didn't put down a mulch last year, and it still grew through. So, is the Fuchsia boliviana actually on the borderline of being properly hardy? Well, do you know what? I think it may be. Would I stake my reputation on that? No, not it's worth anything. But I would be interested in what you have to say. If any of you have also grown this plant here in the UK, and certainly like to hear from people who have grown it farther north in the country than we are, because we are about as south as you can be, then we would love to hear from you. We would also love to hear if you've got any great comments or techniques or anything you would like to add regarding Fuchsia boliviana. Just put those in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. And oh, Fuchsia boliviana is absolutely brilliant. Love them to death. Well, if you enjoyed that, we've got plenty more videos for you to look at. Just have a quick search into our video library. Otherwise, you can check on this one here. And if that's not your cup of tea, try that one there. Enjoy these while I've still got the energy to do them.